say this a lot. If you've watched a couple of my trainings, I say this, I preach this, I live by it. I promise if you do too, you're going to increase your percentages, you're going to increase your PVR, you're going to increase your overall customer experience in the office. And what is that? It's 3 easy words: transparent, clear, convenient. If we can get all 3 of these maximized, the profit and the experience for the customer are going to go through the roof. What do I mean transparent? Transparent is we're going to tell them all the information up front. What the rate is, what the terms are. We're not going to hold anything or hide it back. I'm not saying give up all your profit or give up any type of leg or anything that you have, but I'm saying be upfront and transparent as we can. Let's go ahead and give them the information before they ask for it. Clear, what does that mean? We have to present all of our products to a basis where it's very clear. There's no gray area. It's white or black. They understand what is covered, what is not covered, and what they're purchasing. Convenient. The customer's all about convenience, and so are we. You know how it is when we go to buy furniture or something at Best Buy. We want it to be quick, easy. Think of it as Amazon. They've got a buy now button to skip the cart. Let's think like that, innovative. Let's be convenient as possible for the customer. Get them in and out of the office. It'll increase your PVR and your percentage. Cash conversion or cash product penetration tip. So the first one I'm going to give you is make sure to treat the deal just like another deal. It's a finance deal. Treat it the same way. We've got to do every deal, every day, every line, every time. Present the numbers with confidence. Present the numbers with the fact of you know what you're doing. You're the expert and you're giving the advice to the customer just like what you're doing in a finance deal. Now, one thing I will say that's a little bit different, if you don't go ahead and present the total amount, the total dollar amount, make sure to do that. Make sure to show, because the customer, obviously, that's what they're going to ask the first thing. So make sure it's got listed by each product how much it's going to be. The second thing I've found to be a little bit easier, make it a round number. So instead of $2,759 for the coverage, make it $2,700 or make it $2,800. You can go up or down, but make sure that it's a rounded number. It's easy to write that check that way, just like Keith said in our live Q&A. So that's 2 tips, quick tips on what to do on a cash or a cash penetration deal. Cash. Gosh, we're seeing a lot more of it. Actually, the cash penetration has gone up quite a bit. I would say maybe about 10% in the last couple months. We're averaging maybe 60 to 70% finance, which is a little bit lower than normal. So what are we doing? Well, I'll tell you the number one thing that you should be doing, get involved early. Sounds pretty simple, but it's huge. It impacts the way that deal's going to fall. So make sure that we're getting involved as early as possible. We have a process with the salesperson, with the sales management team, that when somebody a customer mentions, hey, I'm not going to be financing with you, whether that mean I'm bringing a check from the credit union or I'm stroking a check out of my bank, whatever the option is, we need to have a game plan. We need to have that salesperson or that sales manager know what to do next. Get us involved as early as possible. I'm going to give you a little bit of recap. First, what you just saw, we've heard a lot of cash deals. We've heard that we've got a lot of outside financing. How are we able to capture that? How are we able to maximize that? That has been the question for a couple weeks now, if not a month. So the first couple videos, please go back and watch those if you need to. They're in the quick closes and objection handling. So if you need to go back and reference, please go back and reference them, but use them. Integrate them into your process. Do it for 30 days. I guarantee you're going to see results. I've tried all different ways. There's no secret tip or secret trick that's just totally going to change the game. It's little tweaks that we have to make to our process to really see an effect, to really see those percentages rise, those products on the cash deals go up. So yes, please focus on those little closes that I gave you. And obviously the first one we know, and I'm going to ingrain it in everybody's head: transparent, clear, and convenient. How can we do these 3 things for our customers and for our staff, for our salespeople, our sales management, our accounting? Let's flow this through our whole process. How can we be transparent, clear, and convenient? I can't say that enough. So first, I want to do a little update on the group, a little congratulations, let you guys know what certain people are doing throughout the group. We've got John McDaniel. My guy's running $3,300 a copy, $3,100 a copy, something like that the last time I checked. Congratulations to you, my man. You're putting in the work. And what we talked a little bit before I actually filmed this training. I'm like, man, what's changed? What have you changed? That's a big jump, man. You were in maybe the 2,000, right at the 2,000 mark, to go up that extra 1,000. I know it's kind of early in the month, but that's a push. And he told me, just keeping that mindset positive, that attitude clear. And I think we could all take something from that. As much as we've got stuff going on in the outside world, we got family to deal with, we've got personal problems, we've got other things that are going to interfere with work. When we're at work, we've got to give our best energy, our best attitude. If we don't, it's going to reflect on our performance every single time. We can all relate. We can all relate, whether it's a death in the family, whether it's a sickness, whether it's you just got to be out of the office, whether it's finances, whatever it is, it can't get in the way. We can't let that stop us from unlocking our full potential. And John, I want to commend you and congratulate you. Keep pushing, brother. I'm excited to see the next 30, 60, 90 days with you, my man. I'm very excited. We've also got Justin from the Art Mowing Group. Justin, my man, cracking $2,300. I just did a one-on-one with him. It was a great hour that we had on the Zoom call. We went over the presentations, the different processes, little tweaks here and there, but he's already made a couple tweaks. He's been in the program for 3 weeks. And the month before he started, he was running $1,300 a car. So it's really just that mindset shift, just shifting your mindset, what's really possible, implementing those little tweaks we talk about. We're not trying to completely break your process and what you're doing right now. We're just going to tweak it. We're just going to perfect it. And over time, you're going to make it bulletproof. You're going to make it to where $3,000 a car is a standard average. So I'm very excited to get to work with you, Justin. Thank you for putting in the work. And we had a great call, my man. Also, I want to shout out Chris Waltz doing his thing. I know I've shouted him out a couple weeks before, but he keeps doing it, man. He's tracking his numbers. He's putting in the work. Even though he's not seeing the exact results that he wants, he keeps doing it. He's showing up. That's what we talk about. The first step, showing up. You got to show up before anything else happens. Then you have to put something into play. Then you've got to track it. And then we have to have elite targets and stick with them. My man's doing it. Congratulations, Chris Waltz. You're at $2,500 a car or so right now, mid-month. How are we going to ramp it up even more, sustain that $2,500, hit our goal? And the next month, we're going to shoot for $2,800, $2,900. So keep it up, Chris. We got Simon and Derek. Little congratulations to my Canada team up there. And I know they won't mind if I say, but they had a little bit of a rough month in August. They weren't hitting their numbers like they used to. They weren't selling the VSEs. The volume was down. Just kind of a blah month. But this month they said, you know what? We're going to do things that we didn't do in the past. We're going to make sure to maximize our reserve in different ways. We're going to make sure to offer every product, every single deal, every single time. We're going to audit our deals. We're going to get on a weekly meeting with Evan and the team. I've scheduled a 15 to 30-minute call on Mondays with their owner, with them, with their GSM. Let's do that with you all. Get involved. We've got to track this stuff. We've got to stay on top of it. We can't just watch the videos, show up to the Q&As, and expect a different result. We have to implement them. We have to track them and make sure that we're actually doing the things that we're talking about. We're actually putting in the work and actually doing the things that we say we are. It's going to take a couple times. You're going to run through a couple different things and it just doesn't work for you the way that it worked for me or other people in the group. And we tweak them, we maneuver. But you have to try them. That's the first step. The first step is to show up and give them a shot. Give them a try. So congratulations to all those people in the group. And just keep cranking away. Keep cranking away. Stay close to me. Let me know. Shoot me text, videos. I love seeing some of you guys on social media. Cody with Benoit Ford up there posting almost every single day. Chris Waltz sending me some TikToks. Like, I love that. Stay ahead of the game. Keep going, guys. So the rest of this training, I'm going to have some news and marketing and stuff that's going on in the F&I industry, but I also want to, the bulk of the meeting, talk about creative ways that we can up our product penetration, specifically cash, but also in the finance office as well. So what can we do besides the 0% same as cash or just presenting the products every single time? What are some creative avenues, creative ways that we could go about to really up our game? And when I say up our game, I want us to think about like Amazon. You know, they make it so streamlined. They even have like a buy now button. You don't have to go back to your cart and check out. Like, how are we going to make our processes so easy, so seamless? A caveman could do it. A salesperson could do it. We know how that is. So let's think about those things as we go on throughout the training. But first, what's going on in the news? What are they talking about? Besides the UAW strike, what's going on? Well, they're talking about EVs. So there's definitely a trend on EVs that has gone up. I think it was like 7% or 8% higher than the quarter before. So yes, we're going to see more EVs, and apparently they're leasing them more. So an article came through that said that at least 25% or more of people that are buying EVs are going to be leasing them. And this is the article right here. So it says right here, 7.2% of the second quarter is ahead 5% of. So it's about 7 to 5%. The 25% of the market within just 2 or 3 years. Yeah, that's okay. Where was the bulk of it here? Quarter. Right here. So basically people, if you read through it, and you can screenshot it if you want, but basically people are passing up the $7,500 to be able to lease the vehicle because it's working better in the long term. It's working better for incentives and all that kind of stuff. So keep your eyes out. You're going to get EVs. You're going to get some lease EVs. So let's think of some products that we could use, that we could present. And on the lease topic, and I talked with Justin a little bit on our one-on-one about it, but focus on an appearance package, or VSC is great. It's important, and I will push it till the day that I die. But on a lease, you're talking $1,000, just $35 in payment. So a $2,500, a $3,500 VSC with a customer that doesn't plan to drive the mileage or drive over the mileage that they've allotted, it's just, is it worth it for the customer? Is it worth it for us for the push? We have to kind of weigh that out. Some scenarios it is, but some, it's kind of better if we have the tire and wheel, the dent and ding, the ceramic coating to help protect that customer from any of the what ifs. You know, what if you bring this car back like you plan to in 3 years, and it's got a dent on the hood, it's got a scuffed wheel, it's got a couple nails in the tires, it's got a hole in the leather. Like, we don't want you to have to be responsible for that. So we want to go ahead and prevent that from happening so you don't have to worry about it for the next 3 years. Present it that way. And I promise you're going to pick up some more products on those leases, especially some of those EV leases that you're going to see coming to you here shortly. What about the new car inventory? I want to hear from some people specifically. I've heard from some of our owners, our GMs. I don't think we're going to see a big hit. I don't think we're going to see a big hit with our new cars. I think it's going to stay about the same from what we've seen in the past months or so, and it might even ramp up at the beginning of the year. What does that mean for us? Just product knowledge. Stay relevant with the market. Make sure that you know all the different amenities and the different things that the vehicles come with. Make sure that we're staying on top of those things. Make sure that our salespeople have product knowledge and know about the products that we're going to offer in the finance office as well. So I think that's about it on the new car side. Used car side, we've got to keep buying them strong. We've got to keep our inventory strong. I know that's not with you guys, but pass the word along. It's all about the inventory, and let's stay relevant with that. So another news quote, what's going on in the news right now? Westlake, and I know you guys might have heard of this, but Westlake pilots fully digital shopping finance program. So basically, it's like a Cap One auto nav. They're seeing a lot of people like it. It's quick, convenient, transparent, just like we talk about. So stay relevant with Westlake. If you don't have them as a lender, you need to get them. If you have them and you're not using them, I would definitely get with your rep. Ask them about this digital shopping program. What's going on? How is it going to affect us in the future? Are they going to perfect it? Like all the ins and outs. Is it for Prime? Is it for Custom Fi? Is it for both? We definitely need to stay relevant with that. I think that's really cool. I think a lot of lenders are going to start going that way. So now we're going to get back to what should we be focusing on the office? With all that news and marketing and everything that I just told you about, what should we be focusing on in the office? And one thing that hits my mind, and this is a saying, write this down, I promise, it will help you grow. Change. So first step, we're gonna have to change something. The first step to get a different result is going to be to change it. We got to stick out. We've got to do something different. We've got to make sure that the ways that we were doing that didn't work, let's change them. Let's fix it. So we're going to change. Then we're going to struggle a little bit. It's going to get hard. It's going to be hard. We're going to feel like it's just never going to end. We're going to feel like some of our processes, just how are we going to figure this out with the salespeople, with the sales management, with all the staff? How are we going to make it work? But you got to push through it. That's part of the process. This is the process. Change, struggle. What happens after we struggle? What happens after we struggle? We grow. We start to sprout. We start to see different avenues. We become more creative. Everybody's starting to get on board. Everybody's being a little bit more supportive. So let's change. Then we struggle through it. We're going to grow. And at the end of the day, we're going to succeed. the end goal is to succeed. So first we must change before we get to succeed, but everything in between, we're going to go through it. We're going to go through the struggles. We're going to go through the cash deals. We're going to go through the late night deals. We're going to go through all the crap, all the chargebacks and the customers coming back in and canceling coverage, or customers calling and saying, hey, I went over this with my wife and she doesn't approve of it. Let's redo the paperwork. Those business deals where there's 5 cash deals in a row, like, we're going to go through it. We're going to go through those salespeople that just don't understand the process, that think that all we're doing is just effing over the customer and just trying to squeeze every little penny that we can out of them for no use. We're going to get that. We're going to have fight back from our sales managers because we're calling those salespeople back in our office, telling them to get stips. Or we're calling that sales manager and saying, hey man, what'd you do with this deal? Why didn't you let me know about it? You knew about the outside financing, but you didn't let me know. We're going to have that. But if we push through it, we'll make sure to I don't even want to say perfect, because it's never going to be perfect, but we're going to iron it out. We're going to make sure that it's solid, it's bulletproof, and then we're going to succeed from it. So there is a process. It's inevitable. Write this down. We talked about this all the time back in the day when we were growing at Dan Cummins, when we went from 120 units to over 1,000 in a month. This was huge. This was on our bracelets. We had little bands that we made that said change, struggle, grow, succeed. So keep that on the forefront of your mind. I promise it will help you, motivate you, and help you succeed down the road. So with that said, how are we going to do that? How are we going to motivate our people? Well, we got to bring them together first. So we got to bring the people together, just like I've told a couple of you guys. We got to have the meeting. We've got to have the meeting with the sales, with the management. If you got to have accounting, you got to have detail. Whoever you got to have, bring them in. Just for an example that kind of includes everybody, let's talk about a ceramic process. You got to bring the people together first. We got to make sure that our detail, our salespeople, our management, our accounting, whoever's dealing with ceramic coatings, they know about it. They know what the process is. They know that we're going to schedule an appointment through a calendar link. They know to reach out to them 30 minutes before their appointment, an hour before their appointment, a day before their appointment, whatever you guys schedule. They know that we're going to take a video of the car walk around to make sure that we're not liable for anything after if they say something was there or wasn't there. We're going to call the customer when the application's done. We're going to give them a great time expectation. We're going to make sure our detailers know what to expect the process to be like, what we expect, what the customer's going to expect, so that everybody's on the same page. Our accounting, we're going to know how much overhead and cost is going to be evaluated, how much labor we're going to put into the cost, like all that kind of stuff. Our sales management team knows what's going on, even if they're not relevant to the ceramic process. They know that to hold their salespeople accountable for making sure that the person shows up to the appointment, whatever it is. But we all have to come together. That's the first step. We have to come together. We have to bring the people together. And I want you as a finance person to be in charge. Take the reins. Take responsibility of that. Make sure that we're holding our people accountable. Bring them together. Be that catalyst. Bring them together, okay? The next thing is, what are we going to do after we bring them together? We're going to equip them with the tools that they need. So I'm just going to go back to the ceramic coating because it's just on top of my mind. If you have that meeting, we're going to make sure that they are equipped with the tools that they need to succeed. So if you're talking with your detailers, then you have to have the right product. You have to have the right product to put onto the vehicles before you give those type of expectations. If we're talking about processes through credit unions and through cash deals, then we have to equip the salespeople with the tools that they need, which is just availability in this point. You just need to be available. So whatever the tools are needed to, whatever the necessary tools needed to make the operation work, make the process work, we've got to have those available for that other person. And then we have to inspire them. We have to inspire them to be great. Inspire them to be great. You have to tell them, hey, look, I know this is hard. Walk through the process to change, struggle, grow, succeed. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be different. It's going to be uncomfortable. But let's do this as a team. I'm with you. I'm not just telling you to do it. I'm pushing with you as well. We'll help iron out these processes together. So that's huge. Make sure you're auditing your processes. Make sure that your people are included. They've got the tools that they need to do the things that you're asking, and then inspire them, lift them up, and show, hey, I'm going to be there with you. I'm not just going to be the person sitting in the office, maybe doing a TO or two. I'm going to be on the floor. I'm going to be available for you. I'm going to do some videos. I'm going to be the forefront of this mission. I'm going to make sure that we accomplish what we need to accomplish. So let's get into let's get into the creative ways for product penetration. What are some creative ways? And I did a couple myself, but one of them that stuck out the other day, Dan up in New York, he mentioned this, and it really sparked something in my interest. I was like, bro, that I did that. I made those type of relationships with those type of people. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the service drive, the mechanics, the people that are behind the scenes most of the time that we don't necessarily meet with, talk with, or interact with. We need to. Our services, these people are literally, they're using the warranty claims. They're working on these vehicles. You know how much information we can pick up from a mechanic? You know how valuable it is to a customer if you understand the ins and outs of the vehicle? I mean, what if you could tell somebody on how the fuel injection system works on a diesel truck? What if you can tell them how it works and how much it is to fix it, an example? And you just know it. So those little bits and pieces of information that we can pick up from people that we don't necessarily talk to on a daily basis. It's different from the bank. It's different from our mentors. It's different from customers. It's different from salespeople. Let's go up to the service. Let's go up to service and say, hey man, what have you worked on in the past week? What have you seen an influx of? Yeah, we're selling a lot of these Traverses or selling a lot of these Honda CR-Vs. Are you guys seeing anything wrong with them? Are you guys seeing anything happening in your neck of the woods? Like what's going on the back scene? And just get some intel, build that relationship, as well as service advisors. Service advisors, that's huge. Like we got to make sure that they're dealing with the claims, they're talking on the phones, they're doing all that kind of stuff. So even jumping on the phone with them, just sitting there, you don't have to say anything, just sit there on speaker and see how they interact with the warranty provider. See which companies they like better than others. So one of our providers, they used to hate one company and love the other because the claim process was so different and the costs weren't that much different for me, so that I knew if I had a scenario where the cost wasn't that much different, I'm going to go with X coverage rather than Y because it's going to cover it easier. It's going to be easier for my team. It's going to be easier for my advisor. It's going to be better for my customer, and they're going to cover the claim in a timely manner. It's going to be transparent, clear, and convenient. So make sure we keep those things in mind. Let's think creatively. Let's think outside of the box, so that way we can learn all aspects of our business. It's never a bad idea to be educated on all sides, especially on the product side. If we can nail in how it's covered, when it's covered, who's covering it, it makes our value go up, our knowledge go up, which the customer is going to love that. So is all your other employees that work with you. So that's one thing. Service. Mechanics, service drive, service BDC, advisors, we need to know more about that. I wish I would have learned and leaned in on that a little bit more. I did do it some, but I didn't do it enough. It's a honey hole for us. They have customers all day, every day in there that's just, they probably don't even have coverage, and they have a $3,000 fix. You know what it would be like if you present, hey man, I know on this one it cost you $2,200 and you declined the coverage, but dude, my F&I person, I've been working tight with him, and this coverage, he's got it for X, Y, and Z dollar amount for these terms. I'd at least go talk to him, see if it's available. You know how many times I had a service advisor bring me a customer? Tons. I would say 2 to 3 times a month, which those are literally off the books. That's money that you didn't have before that will help those cash deals. It's going to help your PVR. In the long run, it's going to help your penetration as well. Throw them a spiff. What's $50 of coverage? $100 of coverage, whatever you decide to do, a lunch. It doesn't have to be money. Tickets to we had UK, University of Kentucky. Everybody's a big fan here. So I'd throw out tickets to a game. Hey, you get me 5 VSCs this month, I'll give you and your wife tickets to the UK game. Might cost me $250, but those 5 coverages, I probably made $1,500. And if I made, 15, 20% of that, plus my penetration bonus, definitely going to pay off. And that you're going to build that relationship. You're going to learn that back end. So think about the service aspect of it. What's going on in the service world? Stay tuned in with them, okay? Now I'm going to show you a couple things that I thought of throughout the F&I process. Like what are 3 things that basically build the F&I office? What are 3 main points or main topics that are going to be the foundation and the structure, the holy trinity, the triangle of F&I, and I'm going to share it with you now. All right, so this is basically the three main components of the foundation in F&I. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of different components in F&I, but this is going to three categories, main categories that you can put subcategories in, okay? So I'm going to show you. So basically, we're going to draw a triangle. We're going to fill in the sides. First side is going to be relationships. Write this down if you're taking notes. Relationships, products, and then we've got processes. So we've got relationships, processes, and products. Okay? This is the holy trinity, the triangle that supports the F&I office. Okay? If we can nail all these down, and make sure to get all the subcategories nailed down, we're going to be amazing. We're going to learn things that we didn't know, and we're definitely going to hit our numbers and our stuff that we need to hit. So number one on relationships. So what does that mean? Relationships with what? Well, it's going to be our service team, just like we talked about. Service team. It's also going to be our bank reps, our lender reps. Our vendors, like our product vendors or any type of vendors that you have in the F&I office. Menu system vendors. Got our accounting team. All your title leads or the people that are helping you with the accounting of the deals, the funders, all that kind of deal. If you have in-house people that help you with accounting and title work, stuff like that, anything to get DMV paperwork done, those are what I'm talking about, those type of people. Okay? I'm going to put product reps down here too. Product reps. You guys elaborate on this, okay? Write down a couple different ones that maybe I left out that you bring forefront to your mind. Let's share about it in the Q&A, okay? So relationships, we need our service team, the rest of our team at our dealership. We've got bank reps, we've got vendors, we've got accounting teams, we've got our product reps, okay? Number two, to our products. So we've got our VSC, we've got our normal products, VSC, our tire and wheel, our dent and ding. We've got our like 5-in-1s, like our windshield, dent and ding, tire. I know you guys have some of those combo packages, so like our combo package. We've got our, we've also got products. I'm going to input like Stone Eagle. Stone Eagle or like a number tracking. Number tracking tool. If we don't have a number tracking tool, I've been saying this for a long time, you need to have one. Stone Eagle's a good one. Some of your DMS, your CRMs might have one integrated. Our menu systems, our products, again, they're pretty elaborate, not just our VSE, tire and wheel, dent dings, all those things, our ceramics. We have our menu system. Who do we use? Do we use Darwin? Do we use Certified Dealer Process? Do we use CDK? Who do we use? DealerTrack? Who do we use for our menu? Let's learn a little bit about them. Menu systems. And again, elaborate if you see anything else that I'm leaving out here. Number three, our processes. Processes. What I mean by process, well, the first one that I thought of was deal process. What does our deal process look like? Do we even have one in place? Or are we just doing deals as they come to us? Like, I'll just elaborate real fast. So my deal process was the customer, so instead the customer sitting at the desk, the salesman takes the credit app, takes it up to the sales manager. Sales manager prints WAC pencil with proof credit. customer commits to something, we get a commitment from the salesperson, bring it up to the sales manager submitting it to one bank, getting a green check just to lay a foundation. Then I'm getting the deal, double checking to see if there's any other lenders that might be better terms, sending it to a credit union or a local bank, whatever sees fit. And then I'm going out to the customer, meet and greet, you know the process, meet and greet, make sure that all the information is correct, come back in the office, build our menu, print our papers, get our DocuPad ready, whatever it is, and rolling from there, okay? So deal processes, and we've got our presentation process. So what are you guys doing on your presentation process? Are you just winging it? Or are you actually have something laid out? Like, do you have, I do this first, I do this second, I do that third, I structure it each way, so I've got different templates for new, for lease, for used. Like, what does that look like on our presentation processes? Next one's going to be our outside lead or cash. I'm going to put outside or cash. I know what that is. Outside or cash process. What are we doing there? How are we prepping for that? Are we getting involved early? Or are we waiting for that deal to hit our desk and then we're trying to convert? And then we're trying to upsell. Like, let's get involved early so we don't have to do that. So it's not almost impossible to convert them. Let's go ahead and get on the phone first thing. Let's hit the lead. Like, let's get involved with those deals. The next one's going to be like service communication process. I'm just going to put service communication right there. So what are we doing with service to communicate? Like we just talked about before I came up here. How are we communicating with the service department? How are we learning on the other side of things? Warranty claims, different fixes, like how's the mechanic fixing certain things? How many hours does it take? How much would that equate into dollar amount so that we have that in our brain? So when a customer says, Evan, $3,900 for this coverage on my brand new truck, and I don't see the value in that. We can build value. We know it's going to be $195 an hour and it's going to take 4 hours to replace a wiring harness. Or, yeah, it's only a window switch that costs $35 for a part, but it takes 6 hours because you got to remove the door panel and get behind there and put it in. So in reality, it's going to be 6 times 2, that's $1,200, so that's going to be about $1,300 for just one simple $35 part in your window. You got to know these things. Let's be creative on that. Okay? Those are the ones that I thought of on process. We're going to know our deal process, our presentation process, outside lean or cash process, and then our service communication process. There's tons of processes that we can put in these subcategories. I just want you guys to be thinking about it. Okay? Our next one, actually this is the last one with processes, okay? So we've got our service communication, which is like the warranty claims and the different mechanics and all that stuff that we just talked about. But we've also got our ceramic coating process. I'm going to put a star beside it. And I know some of you guys don't even have ceramic coating. I know some of you all are like, I hear you talk about ceramic coating all the time. We don't even have it, or we do have it, but we barely use it. Like, you need it. If you don't have it, you need to get it. And I wish I could tell you it's a simple plug-and-play product, but it's not. There's a lot that goes into it. A lot. The first one's going to be scheduling. So how are you going to schedule these appointments once you make them? Actually, that's the setup. I gotta erase that. We're just gonna roll. You guys know what I'm talking about here. You guys know what I'm talking about. So this is number 2. Number 1 is gonna be product and people. Product, and we'll say people. Maybe application. Number 1 is product or people. All right, so your ceramic coating process, and I'm going off on a tangent because it's very important. I generated millions of dollars for this company, for our old dealership, through ceramic coatings. I would do at least 70 to 75 ceramic coatings a month. I would average $1,200 to $1,250 a piece. I would make about $7,500 a month just on my ceramic coating penetration. But I'm telling you, there's money to be made there. We need to build a process if it's not already made. Allen, Cadillac, and Chevy up in Michigan, they're slowly starting to build it. It takes time. And I'm not going to tell you it's easy, because it's not. First thing, you got to get the right product. We went through 5 or 6 different products before we got the right product. The right people. You got to train your people, your detail people you've got now. You got to get the product. The people that do the products, they have trainers that will come out and train your people. You've got to stay on that. You've got to train your people on how to apply it. And then they'll train people how to apply it as well. They'll promote up into we had different tiers. So it's up to you, and we can jump on a different call. I don't want to go into too depth, but you can create different tiers for the different detailers. And then you can have those detailers training the new people on how to apply it. And then they don't apply it until they get certified and they get extra cash for it. It's a long process, but I'm telling you, it works. So first, we need the right product. We need the right people. Second, we need to figure out how we're going to schedule them. And then I'm going to put the rental car. So if it's a good product, it's going to take a little while. So we need to have some type of rental available. Okay? And the third thing, again, I'm not going to go into depth with it, but I just want you guys to see how important this was. The third thing was definitely, how am I going to word this? Was it worth it for the customer? So the actual value. The value for the customer. Is it there? Would you buy it? Would you apply it? Also, with that value, you need to know what kind of value it has, and to do that, you need to be able to apply it. You need to know the process in and out. You need to be able to say, hey, Mr. Customer, this is what we do. This is our application process. Pull it into the paint base, got a bunch of LED lights in it. We make sure that there's no imperfections in your paint. Then we're going to clay bar it. We're going to buff it. We're going to make sure that it's completely sealed, and it's the best that it can be. And then we're going to seal it foot by foot section on every single panel. We're going to make sure that it's locked in and that it's as perfect as we can get it. It's going to create a shield or a barrier over your clear coat and all your paint. We're also going to jump into the inside. We're going to make sure the inside's completely clean. Then we're going to seal the carpets. We're going to condition the leather. We're going to do the door panels. We're going to do the headliner in case you burn it with your cigarette. We're going to make sure that it's as great, as good as we can, whatever you want to say, as good as we can. And we're also going to back you with a 7-year coverage. And the only reason that I know that and that I've said it a million different times is because I've actually done it with vehicles. I've applied it to vehicles. I've had it on my own. So let's get invested in that. Sorry about the tangent, but it's definitely worth it. All right, so what do we have? Let's touch back on this. What do we have? We've got our triangle. We've got our 3 foundational pieces in F&I. Our processes, you need to write these down too. Put 1, 2, 3, or split your paper into 3s, and let's figure out other processes and things that we can knock out. Processes, our relationships, our products. It doesn't matter which way you put it. We need to perfect all 3 of them. So when we talk about relationships, service team, bank reps, vendors, accounting team, product reps. What do we go with products? We got our normal products, our VSC, our tire and wheel, our dent and ding, 5-in-1s, our ceramics. We've also got our Stone Eagle, or our tracking, number tracking system. Not just your DMS, we're tracking it some other way as well so that we know all the little pieces of data so that we can tweak. You can't tweak it without data. Next one, menu system. We got to make sure we got our Darwin, our certified dealer process, whatever Premier Defense, whatever type of menu that you guys use. Make sure that you're in tune with that. Next one, our last ones are processes, deal processes, presentation processes, outside lean or cash process. Excuse me. Service communication process. How are we communicating with our mechanics and our service team? And our ceramic coating process. What does that look like? Scheduling, product people, value. So this is a great time to audit, reevaluate those 3 topics. And I'm telling you, I promise you, I've been in your seat. I've done a bunch of different things. I've done 8,000 deals, and I don't just say that to say it or to hype you up or to say, hey, I'm better than you. That's not why I say that. I say it because I've had the blessing to be in front of 8,000 different people and be able to present it in 8,000 different ways and know what works. And I really want to share that with you. So please implement these things. They're going to work.